You are now out to witness the awesome Eugene show. Show. Welcome, my friend, to a show that seemingly never ends. I am your host, Eugene S. Robinson, and this is show, oh my goodness, boys and boy, I don't know what show it is. It's on 399. This is show 3. Oh, wait a minute. 9. Or whatever. You know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to back show by before we do Bob Riley with Mata is in as he has every single week in 2007. The Science of Control, All of Nothing, and the record All Never Together. Still available in Revelation Records. They should get that nightfall. Start with a hammer. And when you may approach them out of town, but when I said run, open up the subset of restaurant section in Florida, that will inevitably fail. Listen well. I'm not in Spain, by the way, if you're wondering.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my
But I
time
could not take here. I'm get a real quote. I'm get a real quote. You up to think.
on my way back there.
The beat back for always nothing. All right. Let's cut the music. All right, meine Freunde, here we are at the show 399. I'm guessing it's what June tells me it is. So if June says it is so, it must be so, which is a rip from Voltaire. And that was the famous words of Dr. Pangloss, in which they said, if Dr. Pangloss says it is so, it must be so. Read up on your Candide if you don't know what I'm talking about. In any case, I am in Milan right now. And I'll just go backwards in time immediately from right now. I just had dinner well, I don't need to tell you where I am. Don't worry about where I am. But I can tell you what I did all day doing. Baratro, a band that's got Dave from Unsane and some other young Turks in it, have a song on it, and that the conditions are always the same for my guest artist spots. I got to be paid. It's got to be a video, and the song can't suck. And I write the lyrics, sing the song, and so the video has me playing a. I have some photos of it. I'll show you. But I thought it was just going to be, Eugene comes in and we're going to do a few, outtakes. It was. This is from the set. So I was playing like a mob boss, and it's the video is great. A mob boss, and then there's all this kind of double crossing and chasing and vans and the knives and so on. So at one point, we had to wait till it got dark to shoot some of these scenes. The guy goes, "Okay, you're gonna burst through that door, and it's like literally maybe 30 degrees out here in Milan. We're in the north of Italy. It's cold." He says, "You're gonna burst through that door, and you're gonna run down to that car." I go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 wait. Wait. Did you just say run?" "Oh, yeah, you're going to burst through that door." Bro, I said, "Hey, man, I love you guys and I love making art here, but I'm not running." Like Willie D from the Ghetto Boys says. Gangsta ass niggas don't run. I'm not running. I'm not running down that street. No, but your gang is turned on you. You gotta. I will move with great dispatch. But running in this cold, nah, man. I got a tour of the U.S. coming up in February. I need to be. I'm just darkened parking lot running. But in any case, it was a great video. Great spending time with Dave, exchanging stories about the old hardcore days. He is one of the people that was instrumental in me actually moving to Spain. He and Vincent from Unsane were like, screw it, can't live in America, gonna move over here. So they're two of the people that I used as a model for, and he's fluent and Italian, been here I think 15 years, wised up, saw the writing on the wall well before there was a wall to see writing on. And that wall, I need to tell you something. That wall is right now aflame. If you've noticed the rapidity, yeah, I know it's probably folks. I'm seeing all the new stuff about the States, so I'm sorry for y'all there. I'll be back. I'll be back in my hot tub soon, though. So you can take cold comfort in that fact. So, no, but no, I mean, if you've been noted the rapidity of my postings, this fucking thing with the cat in Minneapolis who got shot. Let me explain to you the two-step that I go through. I want to immediately start to offer the position that citizens of the United States should grab their firearms, rise up, and shoot the attackers. And I understand that is not helpful. I remember feeling that way when Rodney King verdict came in, and I was confused about Rodney King's tearful April 29th testimonial where he's like, can't we just all get along? I was like, classic, FSU guy, fuck shit up. I just want, and then what I do is look, I need some perspective here. I don't want to be a dog's body. I don't want to be a cat's paw. I don't want to be a puppet. And the whole Godfather is about who is a puppet, who chooses to be the puppet, who chooses to pull the strings. I don't want to be the puppet on the string. But to get to that end, I go to my MAGA world folks and I go, what do y'all think about this? And of course, a lot of the MAGA world folks are cops. And they're like, look, if you put yourself in a dangerous situation and something bad happens to you, whose responsibility is that? You know who didn't get shot that day? Guys who stayed at home and watched TV. And I said, yeah, but protesting is a protected right? Yeah, well, you don't interfere with cops doing the job when you're armed, legally armed. So you just came from a gun show, Second Amendment rights. So did you have any? Okay, well, you got to understand that they were on edge because I go, well, who was? Well, ICE. Are they police? Well, they're not police, are they? Right? There's a great Nazi, take a drink, great Nazi phrase that the Nazi phraseology. I was going to start a whole company and I was going to call it Freedom of the Streets, or alternatively, Ike Turner Fight Gear. And I was going to use all of the Nazi sloganeerings and put them on athletic wear. So instead of just do it, you had things like, the greedy bread gobblers, work shy individuals, and these don't, which is strange. The Trump administration is pretty much ripped off, paraphrased Nazi phraseology from top to bottom. There's an article in Politico where they talked about like 18 different instances in which they pretty much just translated, used Google Translate on German phrases and made that part of their policy paper. So, of course, so you can't always be comparing us to Nazis. Well, I guess, you're making it very easy to do that. But the phrase that stuck in my mind is they were talking about the essay. People were complaints about the essay before the Night of the Long Knives. You should just be drinking all through this, by the way, because these are all Nazi references. Night of Long Knives, that Ernst Röhm, that he was proud to have given his soldiers, which was aided and abetted by, of course, Hitler and the executive circle, to give them what the phraseology was: freedom of the streets. Freedom of the streets, which just cracked me up because it means exactly what you think it means. And it means exactly what we have in America. You can be stopped now for any reason. You can be asked for ID for any reason. What is it, unreasonable search and seizure? Go fuck yourself. You can you can be Native American. You can be as a black person. How do I know you're not Haitian? Well, first of all, I don't look Haitian. How do I know what Haitians look like? Give me your ID. I don't have to give you shit. I'm walking. Well, now in your refusal to give me something, you are obstructing. You're obstructing justice. No, I'm not. Oh, now you're talking, so you're obstructing. Now you're ushering threats by refusing to stop talking, and I will pepper spray you. Crystal knock is coming. Take a drink. It is actually coming. But the thing is, um, the difference the difference between Nazi Germany, take a drink, and now is that the the population that you need to be compliant does not exist quite yet in the United States. There were plenty of people in Germany who were watching their Jewish neighbors be taken away, and they're like, we don't know what they did. Maybe they did something. I don't know what they did. So they start closing the shops. They go, yeah, that shop always charged me too much. Or, no, fuck those guys in the shop. I can, yeah, that's right. A man's life in these parts actually does depend on the merest scrap of information. So we don't have a compliant U.S. citizenry. People seem to be not cowed, but they seem to be upset, which is. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's I don't say personal fortunes, but it's almost in direct opposition to how badly things seem to be going in America. But I don't know. I don't know. And listen, the fact that Trump is not doing anything to stop it, no, 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 no. Which means it won't get stopped. It will not get stopped. It will not get stopped until we have a Joseph McCarthy moment. I don't know at whose behest that thing will be done. But what have I done the last few days? Been super productive. As we close out the show, I finished my new article for Decibel. I've got the Substack out. I did the show, did the video. I did Bad Boss Brief. It was the disaster show inspired by one of yours letters. The whole show, and that comes out on Wednesday. On next Saturday, I'll be there for If the Shoes Fit. And next Sunday, there'll be another show providing you all live until then, or Me Too. Tomorrow is my oldest, well, let's just say this, my oldest kid's birthday. Man, oh man, oh man. I so badly want them to get out of that country, but at least they know they have a place to go that they've been before they could be comfortable. But this is the one thing that, and I'll end the show on this, that I feel deep-seated feelings of regret and shame for. Deep-seated feelings that this is the America that I've gifted to my kids. I somehow feel responsible for that. I was at a crossroads at a certain point in my life and made a decision to have children. And I have to say that if I never imagined I had children that I would have what we have in 2026. Here you go, kids. Here you go. Toodles. Yeah. The American Dust tour does start February 4th. Straight into Denver. See you there, Mile High City. I'm going to start increasing the cardio I do because that altitude is killer. I did okay for the show last night. Had a little midsection fatigue. Gotta start doing more ab work and lower back work. Strangely enough, for a live show, that's where it hits. But outside that, I got nothing. I'm staying at Javi's house, just FYI, in Milan. Nice place.
No.
3-story house in the center of Milan. Real nice digs. I'm excited. Except the bed I'm sleeping in. Yo, bro. You gonna put a 63-year-old guy in a fucking bunk bed? Here's hoping I live through a midnight piss that has me falling out of that thing onto a stone floor. Anyway, this is the show. This is 399. Maybe we'll do something special for 400. I don't know. But until then, everybody in the house is sleeping now. Until then, I'll say to you, as I say each and every night, look what you made me do! Don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Be sure to follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still on Twitter, he's at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3, that's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstomper.substack.com and become a subscriber today. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast every other Wednesday morning, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced by Original Designs, owned and operated by me, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at originals@gmail.com, spelled ORIJUNELS @gmail.com.